Alright, what's going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to today's gameplay stream. How you doing? DSP here live on the stream. Actually, just as we start, I'm gonna pop a decongestant. Excuse me. Because they were outside, the landscapers. I don't know why they were here today. They used to always come on Wednesday, but now for some reason they were here today, so I guess maybe they've changed up their schedule for the summer or something. But I was asleep. I had my bedroom window open, to get air. And as I'm sleeping, the freaking landscapers come by, and not only do they wake me up, but all this freaking pollen blows in the window. It completely screws up my throat and my sinuses. I'm like, oh, God. Because I do have pollen allergies. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That was such a nice, restful sleep. And to be awoken by that, it's like, son of a bitch. So let me pop this decongestant before I even start here. Okay. Whew. Hopefully that kicks in within like 30 minutes or so. Holy shit. Alright, everyone. So thank you. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Hopefully doing well today. This is my first of 2 gameplay streams for today. Today is actually June 1st, 2017. Alright, and I've got a lot to talk about on the pre-stream here in regards to what to expect the next few days. I've got a Patreon alert/update. It's not exactly good news, but I got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to talk about here on pre-stream. Hopefully, while pre-stream is going, my nose will clear up, because right now it's pretty congested. Ugh. Sucks. Pollen allergies sucks. Alright, they really do. Alright, so everyone, welcome to the stream. 2 gameplay streams today, alright? Today is basically the leftovers day. So, what that means is that what I want to do today is to get one more session in of 2 games that I've really enjoyed over the past few weeks to months. And I know that I'm about to get wrapped up in a lot of things, including new game releases, E3 coverage, Patron's Choice playthroughs. There's a lot of stuff that's about to start happening pretty quickly starting tomorrow, okay? And before I get completely wrapped up and caught up and swept away in this wave of new stuff I'll be doing in June, I'd like to do a final day where I kind of play the stuff that I've been playing and I give it like a last hurrah, alright? So to explain what I mean, first of all, today is going to be 2 streams, alright? So a full day of streaming today for you. Today's first stream here is going to be more Persona 5, alright? I've really enjoyed Persona 5, as you guys know. It's been an ongoing playthrough I've been doing since early April. It's been on and off primarily because of the limitations that Atlas has put on the streaming and, let's playing of the game. And I believe, what is the limitation now? What is the in-game date that I can't pass? Was it November or October? I can't remember what it was. I know that we're not going to hit it today. We're in the middle of a dungeon, so there's no way we're going to hit it today. But I can't specifically remember the date at this point now. I think it's was it mid-November? Like November 19th or something like that? November 19. Popsicola says November 19. Okay. So we've still got just under 2 months left in the game, in-game time to play. So seriously, between the dungeon, mementos, and all the other stuff I'm doing, I could seriously see myself playing 3-4 more sessions, if not more than that, before we hit that date. Okay? So, we're good to go. We don't have to worry about that yet. So, that's the deal is today. Probably going to focus in on, on the dungeon, I'm thinking, because we were in the dungeon and then we left it temporarily. So maybe we'll do more of the dungeon today. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, I would like your feedback here live on the stream of what I should be focusing in on in Persona 5, since I don't know what the best utilization of time would be here. So please give me your opinions in the stream chat once we start playing, okay? So, about 3.5 to 4 hours of gameplay of Persona 5 on the stream to start, okay? And then, later tonight, I'll be doing about 2 hours of online multiplayer of Injustice 2. This will officially be my final major session of Injustice 2. And before people are like, oh god, it means you're never playing it again. No, that is not the case. It is not the case that I'm never going to play the game again. At all. It's not even, you know, close. What it means is... excuse me. This is excuse me. This is going to be the final session of Injustice 2 for a bit, because I am going to focus on other things. I mean, most notably, another fighting game. Tekken 7 comes out tomorrow. So, I don't want you to think that this means it's the end of Injustice 2. That's not the case. And more than likely, what I'll be doing is every once in a while, I'll want to mix things up. You know, when you're in the middle of playthroughs and coverage of certain things, you're doing the same thing every day, you want to have variety. And Injustice 2 is a game that I could probably, from time to time, go back to and do an online session of every once in a while. And in particular, as we all know, Injustice 2 will be having expansions. It will be having 4 DLC characters at least. Okay? So I will be, maybe from time to time, going back to the game and checking out the DLC characters and stuff. We'll see. Alright, we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, tonight will be the final official major session of Injustice 2 for coverage of the game, you know, as a new release. And then I'm on to Tekken 7, alright? So that's today. 2 streams. Persona 5 and Injustice 2. Tomorrow, folks, the premiere of Tekken 7. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. I have not played an official Tekken release in quite some time. The last one was Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and that was a long time ago. And before that, the last Tekken release before that actually was not, it was not, I wasn't even able to cover it for YouTube. They weren't doing, it was before I did YouTube. That's how long it's been between Tekken releases. It's been a long freaking time, man. In fact, I actually remember this. When Tekken 6 was released, I didn't play it as a new release, but I waited a few months and I found online this discounted bundle of a little joystick and the game itself for Xbox 360, and I was sick. I remember I was sick from work. This is when I had my office job, and I was sick, and I ended up playing through the entire story mode of the game in one sitting, because I was sick as a dog and I couldn't really leave the house or anything, and I played it, and that was before YouTube. That was before I'd ever put gameplay videos on YouTube. That's how long ago that was. So you're talking 10 years ago? Something like that, I think. Yeah, so I don't know what took them so long to actually have another numbered release in the Tekken franchise, but they seriously took their sweet time. If you remember in like the 2000s, they had Tekken 4, Tekken 5, and Tekken 6 all boom, 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 and then they waited like 10 years for the next release. So anyway, Tekken 7 starts tomorrow, okay? I'm excited. How are we going to tackle it? Pretty much the same way that I tackled Injustice 2, alright? So what does that mean? It means that we're going to start off with the narrative story mode, whatever the hell they call it in this game. That's what I'm going to be starting out with, okay? Playing through that. I don't know how long it is, but that's going to be the start. And then once the story mode is completed, then I want to see what other offline content the game has. Now, Tekken usually has a few things. It usually has arcade ladder mode. It usually has some kind of a tutorial mode. And then sometimes it has a challenge mode where it's like almost like an endless gauntlet of enemies. And the further that you get, the more you earn. You can earn experience points and stuff for your character so you can buy in-game outfit pieces and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if that's actually 100% true or not. All right, I haven't played it yet. But you know, typically Tekken games do have a decent amount of offline content, and I am planning on, you know, checking out several different characters, messing with them in training mode, etc. And then yes, I am going to be doing online play as well. So that's kind of, it's the same thing I did with Injustice, right? Story mode first, then the offline content, then moving on to online. So you can expect Tekken 7 coverage starting tomorrow, continuing Saturday, Sunday, and probably even Monday. Now, I've actually already been in contact with my friend Venomous Fat Man, who wants to play an online session of gameplay with me to test out the private lobbies, okay? I don't know how this is going to go. And the reason I say that, if you remember, I played with Brian, my friend Brian, Tiger Power Gaming, in Injustice 2, and it was terrible. The connection was very bad. It was over 100 milliseconds of delay, and everything I did was incredibly bad. It was just so delayed, I couldn't play him. It was unplayable. All right? But I've played Venomous Fat Man before. Last year, I played him in Tekken, Pokken tournament, right? And our connection was great. So maybe our connection will be better. I don't know, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna play a set with him eventually. Not exactly sure when that will be, because like I said, what I want to do is check out the offline content first, and maybe get acquainted with a few characters where I feel like I can play with them at a competitive level before I move on to actually playing him in a set. So, but yeah, it's gonna be about 4 days of coverage of Tekken 7. Okay. I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. You know, to delve again into another fighting game. Let me say this, okay? My Injustice 2 coverage in May was great, okay? Not only did people turn out in droves to watch me play this game on stream, but on YouTube, the videos did great. It really, actually, I'm not kidding, it reinvigorated DSPGaming. DSPGaming was a little bit on a slump after April. Because let's be honest here, in April, there weren't that many great releases. You had Persona 5, okay? Yooka-Laylee, no one really cared about, honestly. And then for the rest of the month, there wasn't much going on until Outlast 2, and that only lasted like a day. So April actually was a pretty big lull for DSPGaming. But oh my god, did it pick up in May. Injustice 2, everyone was excited. They were checking out my videos, they were watching the streams, they were talking about it. So I'm very pleased with how the coverage of Injustice 2 went, okay? So, you know, playing Tekken 7, it might be another situation here where we get another surge of interest where people want to see me play Tekken. That's cool. I like Tekken. I played Tekken since Tekken 1. No lie, I've been playing it for a long time. And not to say that I've always played it at a competitive level. I did at one point. Everyone always asks me about that karate trophy that I have in my office in the background. When I do webcam from my PC, that's a Tekken 3 tournament trophy. I won that in the 1990s. There was a mall tournament of like 50, 60 people. And, you know, because back then, not a lot of people wanted to play in tournaments because they didn't think they were good enough. That was the thing. It was before the era of online play and all that. So it was a big thing to step up and try to challenge people in a tournament setting. So, I actually won the mall tournament. And that's the trophy that I won, playing Tekken 3. Of course, I used Paul Phoenix. The guy who got second place used Eddie Gordo. Tekken 3, that was the era of the debut of the cheesy-ass Eddie Gordo. But I learned all the strategies and I beat the guy. So, that was quite a long time ago. And it certainly means absolutely nothing in regards to the modern era. Tekken has changed a ton since Tekken 3, that's for fucking sure. But I mean, that just shows you I've had a long-standing interest in the Tekken series, alright? And I can't wait to dive into the new one tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, I'm excited. I know the graphics are going to be good. The soundtrack, the graphics, and the gameplay typically of Tekken games is always really solid. I like how there's always a wide variety of characters in Tekken too. So, let's see how it goes starting tomorrow, alright? Pretty excited to see how it goes. And hopefully, you'll check out all my stuff over the weekend, alright? Now, Tuesday, I'm probably going to be checking out, if it is released, because they said it was going to be released this week, but it's no guarantees. There's this game called Perception. It's a survival horror game from the developers of BioShock and Dead Space. It's a game where you play a blind woman who is returning to some house in Massachusetts, which apparently is haunted, and she uses sound to see things. It's one of the most unique graphical games ever, okay? And I'm pretty excited to check this out as well. So yeah, so we're gonna have a whole weekend of Tekken, followed by a fun survival horror game. So this could be a really awesome week coming up. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That's what you can expect content-wise from me. Yes, Tyler Holmes, I did check my email this morning. Thank you. I haven't had a chance to do anything yet, but thank you for that, and I will respond when I get a chance. Maybe later tonight, I don't know. Today's a very busy day with the double stream, and actually that's another thing. Today, during the break between streams, I may be filming an unboxing. I've actually got another one of those 1-up boxes showed up this past week, and I've just been too busy to film the unboxing, but I'm thinking I may film the unboxing today and release that on the King of Hate vlogs. In addition, I may be doing a new DSP Tries It this weekend. I may be trying to get back on track with DSP Tries It if I can, and start doing them more consistently, because I know it's been incredibly inconsistent in 2017. I mean, I'm barely even doing once a month an episode of DSP Tries It, and I know people like the show, so I may get more on the ball with that, okay? Let's see, what else is going on? A lot's going on. So this morning, I don't know how many people heard this. This morning, there was an official announcement. Shadow of Mordor, whatever it's called, the next Shadow of Mordor game, I don't know what the subtitle is called. It was originally supposed to come out in late August. It's now coming out in October. It was delayed by 2 months. Alright. So if you were really looking forward to the new Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War it's called? What the hell is it called then? What's the name of this freaking game? People are just saying Shadow of War. What's the full title of this stupid game? I get so confused. Middle-earth Shadow of War. Okay. That's the full name of the game. Gotcha. Thanks, guys. So, alright. So, that's coming out now in mid-October. So, now here's what's happening. And I was afraid of this, right? What's happening is, systematically, as usual, October is stacking up to be the busiest game release month of the year. Already, we've got high-profile releases like South Park, The Fractured But Whole, and Shadow of War. What else, is going to be coming out in October? I guarantee you, watch, it's going to be like Assassin's Creed. Every fucking game is going to come out within like 2 weeks. And there's going to be no possible way to cover them all. I just know it. I already see it happening. Now, the good news is, this isn't really bad news in regards to Shadows of War. And the reason is because the game was coming out on August 22nd, which is the day when that Uncharted expansion was being released. If you're not aware, Uncharted 4 is actually getting a DLC expansion that isn't really an expansion. It is a continuation of the story of the game, but it's so big, they're actually selling it as a separate spin-off game rather than as a DLC add-on. It's going to cost $40. So that was already coming out on August 22nd. So you say, gee, if that was coming out on August 22nd, imagine trying to play that and Shadow of War at the same time. So there you go. It isn't that bad of a deal, but I do understand that people who are dying for the game might be a little bit disappointed, obviously, and I get it, alright? I get it. Alright, so that's the big news from this morning in gaming, is that the game got delayed, sadly. And a lot of people message me on social media about this, so I just want to let everyone know I'm aware of the delay. I'm well aware. Alright, let me see. Oh, that's right, I gotta talk about Patreon, guys, because sadly, the news is not good, alright? You know me, I'm real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything here, folks, alright? Here's the deal. I've been talking about Patreon for weeks. I've been telling everyone that we were very close to hitting the Patreon goal, but it was basically on the very edge of hitting it for the month of May. If you don't remember, the goal for the month of May was that if we hit the goal, we're going to be doing a Indies marathon, okay? Where people would be nominating and voting in indie games for me to do a marathon. But I couldn't really tell accurately how we were doing because of 2 reasons. Number one, because usually a ton of people get declined for their pledges, all right? They do. A lot of people usually every month they get declined for their pledges. And when they do, I don't get, it doesn't count towards the goal. Number two, typically some people withdraw their pledges or lower their pledges at the very end of the month, last minute, because there is a recurring pledge to my Patreon. If you pledge to my Patreon, it's a recurring thing every month. So a lot of people say, oh man, I can't afford it this month or whatever. For whatever reason, they pulled their pledge. Well, the combination of those two things, folks, kind of combined into not a very good situation. And what I mean by that is right now, from what I can see, we're about $100 away from hitting the funding goal for May. Now, there were a bunch of declined pledges, all right? There were a bunch of declined pledges, and I already messaged all those people. So there is a good chance that if everyone who was declined updates their info, that maybe we'll still hit the goal, all right? In addition, I'm not sure how many people maybe pledged during the month, over the course of the month of May. And what I mean by that is if anyone who's a new pledgee in May, it doesn't show as like part of the monthly total. So I have a little bit of math to do. Let me put it this way. I have to go back and in the next day or two, take some time to do some math here and figure out how many people actually pledged for the first time in May, because that counts towards the May goal. And then I got to see how many recurring pledges processed overnight last night, and I got to add that to the May goal. And then I have to see how many people with their declined pledges actually update the info and they do process. Excuse me. So we're close. Let me put it this way. We're close, but I have to stick to my guns, folks. I have to. I have to stick to my guns, because if I just give in and I say, we're just going to do the monthly goal anyway, then there's no motivation to get anyone to pledge. And that's the whole point of the monthly goals with Patreon, is that I'm trying to motivate people to pledge to Patreon, all right? There's only so much I can do. You guys know, I'm a one-man show here. I stream 1 to 2 times a day. I work on edited videos. I'm constantly on social media. I'm constantly working here behind the scenes, and I try to squeeze in these Patreon events. I can't really realistically do much more than what I do now when it comes to Patreon, all right? I'm kind of already extended to the limits of what I can do. So I'm sorry that I can't possibly make like a better goal or whatever for you guys. I wish I could. Over the years, I've asked what would be better goals, right? What would be a better thing to motivate people to pledge to Patreon? And I've taken in your advice, and I've actually done many events and things based directly on the feedback you've given me. But at this point, I'm not exactly sure what else I could possibly do that's realistic, all right? Being, within my means, that's the thing. It would be one thing if I had a team of people here, a crack team of people, and if people could, help me out to work on this or that so I could do something special for the patrons, but I'm doing as much as I can. All right? So, that being said, folks, right now, we're very much on the precipice of hitting the funding goal for May. We could hit it. There's a very big chance we could hit it, but there's also a very strong chance we won't, all right? I don't like giving you bad news, but the bottom line is, I've said this over the last few months. In fact, since I started doing my new streaming method here, and by the way, I accidentally just banned Manny Peregrine. I apologize. I unbanned you. My fault. I was trying to do something on the laptop and I misclicked again. The stupid chat that I hate. But anyway, here's what's happened. I feel that's what happened is, since I have done less of a focus on YouTube, right? I've had a much less focus on YouTube altogether. YouTube is kind of like, yes, I do still upload the videos there, but I'm not focusing on that. My efforts are mostly focused on Twitch. And I've noticed, yes, I've got a mass increase in the amount of people who attend my streams, who are cheering, subbing, and tipping me on stream, which is a good thing, all right? But that being said, what's happened is there's been a big movement of people who I feel maybe used to be patrons of mine and said, oh, well, I'd rather just support Phil via the streams. So they took their support from one avenue and put it to the other, and that's fine. But understand that the business and my ability to keep live streaming daily and putting videos on YouTube daily was dependent on that Patreon income. So to see a big dip like I've seen in the past 3 months is a really bad thing. I've seen hundreds of dollars of Patreon support lost in the past few months. Now, if you've noticed, it's not like I've cut back on Patreon. I'm still doing all the perks. I'm still doing all the events. It's not like I've scaled back. It's just that I think people refocus it. Oh, I want to be part of these streams that Phil's doing now. And that's cool, but now see what happens is a situation like here, right? Where it sucks because sadly, it looks like we may not hit the goal. And that's really blows. It does, all right? I want to hit the goal. I want to do these special events with you guys. I love doing these events. We just did one this past weekend, right? The one we just did this past weekend was a lot of fun, the Twitch and Chill event, and we got coming up the Patron's Choice playthrough, right? And I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to start soon. In fact, it might start as early as E3 week. It's going to, by the way, it looks like it's going to be Danganronpa 2. Not to beat around the bush here, it really looks like it's going to be Danganronpa 2. I doubt that we're going to see a resurgence of voting for another game or anything like that. So, yeah, you know, there's not much I could do about that. But it's not like I'm not going to... I know some people are like, another Danganronpa game already? Well, it's what people voted for. It's out of my hands, right? But anyway, I mean, we got all this Patreon stuff going on, and it's all good. People love it. People love the Danganronpa playthrough. People love the special events, but then you gotta pledge to keep them going. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. That's the motivational tools to get people to pledge to Patreon, all right? So I certainly don't like to sit here and harp about this shit. I don't. But I'm just trying to be real with you about it looks like there's a chance we may not be doing the Indies Marathon, and I have to stick to my guns. I have to. I can't just do the marathon anyway, because then more people will be like, well, why should I pledge if he's just going to do the fucking event anyway? And then everyone will pull their pledges, you know? So I can't do that. And now, of course, here we go. Alexander Rossi in the stream chat being a jerk. How can you say it's out of your hands when people said they wanted to vote for another JRPG for Patron Choice and you blocked that? Because I'm already playing a JRPG. I mean, you gotta use your head sometimes before you type a message in stream chat, dude. Seriously. I'm already playing a JRPG. I've been playing it since early April. No one's gonna want to watch 2 JRPGs at once, dude. Use your brain. You have one in your head. You should probably use it. Just saying. Alright. So, everyone, that's the deal. I'll have an update for everyone. Alright? I'll have an update for everyone, hopefully, soon. In regards to Patreon. I hope it's a positive one. I hope that between people updating their pledges that were declined, okay? And also the between me kind of recalculating, because I do have to calculate in a few pledges that happened during the month of May. Okay? Maybe we will hit the goal. We're literally right on the edge of doing it. But, yeah, I don't want to promise you anything. We'll see. But if anything, folks, what I'll say is this. Please, don't take it for granted. Because I think that's the problem is a lot of people do. They say, you know what? Almost every single month, Phil hits the Patreon funding goal. Every month, right? So why should I pledge whenever he's already hitting the goal? And the other thing is my Patreon page is so stupid and screwed up. It says that we hit the goal even though we didn't. Because what happens is everyone pledges, but then when the recurring pledges come through, they get declined, and therefore I didn't hit the goal. And that's the problem. That's exactly what happened. A bunch of people pulled their pledges, and a lot of pledges got declined. So right now what you're seeing on the public page of Patreon isn't true. And it sucks because, you know, some people look at that and they say, oh, it says I hit the goal. Well, I didn't. I didn't hit the funding goal. The funding goal for Patreon is what it's always been. I know I haven't talked about this in a long time. It's $1,250 a month. That's the goal I set when I launched Patreon in February of 2015. And I've never changed it. It's just that Patreon's page has changed a million times, and they changed the public-facing number twice to change up and look different, and it's all kinds of screwed up. It's all kinds of screwed up, and it's just stupid misinformation. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll hit the goal. I will give you more information soon, and hopefully it's good news, but either way, I'm going to let you know, alright? Now, all this being said, everyone, please, by all means, give me feedback on what would be a better Patreon goal for June. Because I want to set up a goal that people are going to pledge for. But I don't know what to... I mean, I've exhausted every kind of event and thing that I could do that's realistic. You know, I see people saying completely unrealistic things. Do a 24-hour stream. Are you nuts? Are you... I live by myself, okay? It's not like I have a team of people here where we can tag in and out during 24 hours and take breaks. I would probably die if I did a 24-hour stream. It's not going to happen. And I've said this many times before. It's stupid. It's a bad idea. It's really dumb. Okay? Some people have said, what about you drinking again? Do a drunk side Phil stream. Well, here's the thing. I mean, that would be funny for 2 hours until the alcohol wears off, or unless you want me to keep drinking, now it's unhealthy. And that's the point, is all these ideas that people get, they're not good ideas. They're things that are dangerous or not viable for someone who's by themselves. Seriously, I wouldn't want to sit here and do a drinking stream for 10 hours and fucking kill my liver. You know, these are terrible ideas. These are absolutely terrible ideas, guys. I need realistic ideas, all right, that I can do by myself and aren't harmful to myself. So, please, send me your ideas, but please send me realistic ideas, all right? Things that I could viably do that would be entertaining and would motivate people to pledge, but also wouldn't be things that are going to risk my health. Because that is not a good idea. It's not a good idea for just so I can hit my Patreon goal. Now I can't work for a week because I'm fucking in the hospital. Okay? Alright, what else? Okay, I guess now we're going at length here. So let me end the pre-stream, folks. And, let me quickly, very quickly here, just cover a few quick plugs. Alright, and then we'll get started. First off, you already know the deal about Patreon. Alright. So thanks to everyone who did pledge to my May Patreon. FYI, if you did pledge to the May Patreon, I will be messaging you this coming Sunday night to let you know what I need from you in order to get you your perks and such. So be on the lookout for Patreon PMs coming out this Sunday night, alright? I'm looking for ideas for the new June goal. Please send me your ideas and we'll go from there, okay? Teespring, folks. My Teespring merch store, as you can see here. Lots of cool stuff. T-shirts for both male and female. You know, it's not just the dudes. There's also shirts that, you know, more appropriately fit women. There's also mugs, stickers, all kinds of stuff you can get there. All based off of fan-submitted artwork. That's really good stuff. I personally wear these shirts on my streams all the time. Alright? And, you know, please consider checking out the store and getting something. If you buy something, I make a pretty good commission on every sale there from the Teespring store. Alright? So please consider checking it out. And, you know, obviously let me know what you think, and hopefully you'll consider getting something, okay? And then last but not least, folks, I will be very appreciative while you're watching today's stream if you decide to either cheer with bits or sub to my channel or tip me, okay? All these things are ways that you can support the stream and allow it to keep going on daily. As you know, my streams pretty much are daily. Every once in a while I take a day off, but mostly they're almost every single day you're going to see a live gameplay stream here, okay? If not two, like today. And it is your support via these methods that allows me to keep doing this on a daily basis and also keep uploading videos to YouTube daily. Alright? So, thank you for your ongoing support. If you do either cheer with bits, I believe it's a 50-bit threshold to get a message on screen, to which I will give you a thank you shout out. Alright? Also, if you sub to the channel, I will give you a thank you shout out. Or if you tip $2 or more. You might say, well, why $2? It's because I want a threshold where it's not spam. And if I did, like, less than that, I get the feeling people would spam, you know. Now, how do you tip? Because some people might not understand how to tip. Alright? Well, what you do is you look directly below the stream on this page here. And there is a section there that says tips. If you click on it, it'll take you to the tip page. You can either anonymously tip me, or you can leave a message, which I will give you a shout out for, okay? So, any of those are good. And by the way, I will now do a quick section of thank you shout outs, because some people have been doing this on pre-stream, but I was kind of lost in what I was trying to talk about there. So first of all, Captain DCW said he had already subscribed, but he forgot to click on the share button, so he clicked on the share button. So thank you to Captain DCW. Thank you to Anodura Lost, who did a 10-bit cheers, is excited for Persona 5 gameplay. And then the Rickest of the Rick did a 50-bit cheer and said, Patreon goal in limbo, blame Fizz. I have no idea what that's a reference to. I don't really care. Maybe it's who knows what it's in reference to. But thank you for the 50-bit cheer regardless. I appreciate the cheer. Okay? Alright, that's about it, everybody. It's time for us to begin with Persona 5. Alright? I guess some people were, for some reason, were expecting that I was going to address my personal life on today's pre-stream. I said everything that I have to say about the situation last night on Twitter. And as I said on Twitter, I'm not going to make a video about it, nor am I going to talk about it, because there's nothing to talk about. If you do want to talk, the bottom line is, because of my life, changes going on right now, if you haven't noticed, in the past few weeks, I've actually been working more. You may not have noticed, because I did kind of just slide it in there, but I've been working a lot more. Every day I've been working. I didn't take any days off in the past 2 weeks. When I was taking a day off 1 day a week, I haven't taken any days off. I'll be streaming longer when it's appropriate. So, for example, if I want to do a midnight release, or if I want to do a longer stream than usual, I'm not now conforming or stuck in a set schedule. Let's put it that way. So if I'm playing a game and I'm having a good time, I don't have to say, all right, well, I have to stop right now because dinner's ready. It's nothing like that. So it's going to be a lot different, I think. A lot of people have said, how is this going to change? Well, I mean, it's going to basically go back to the way it was from 2009 to 2013. And if you don't remember how that was, all right, back when I was in Connecticut, before I ever moved to Washington, my schedule was my own. Everything was kind of on the fly. It wasn't like every day I had this completely set deal, right? So things are different now. I'm kind of going back to that formula. Now, what I'd like to do is I would like to try to at least maintain some kind of work-life balance so that I'm not going crazy here and I'm losing my mind because I'm constantly on stream or constantly making videos and I have no downtime at all. And I mean, eventually I probably will want to start taking a day off every once in a while to do stuff on my own. And, there's going to have that. There's always going to be that element, but yeah, the bottom line is I'm kind of going back to where I was before the changes in 2014 when I moved across the country and basically my whole life changed. It's going to be a little different. All right? Honestly, in regards to streaming and the videos and everything, this is a positive thing. This is a good thing. It's back to kind of being more of a master of my time and a master of my life rather than being, well, now we got this constraint here and this schedule here and I got to adhere to this and adhere to that. All right. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Today, double stream, with Tekken, I'll have a little bit more flexibility with the streaming. Like I said, I won't have to stop definitively at a certain time or anything like that. So, all right, everybody. So that is it. Thank you. And I believe we shall begin now with Persona 5. Sound good? Ooh. Oh my god. Excuse me. Alright, let us begin with Persona 5.